It's hard to say, really. I mean, I suppose when most people think of gaming, they think of men, and they think that the majority of the audience is male gamers. But the fact is that women make up nearly 50% of the audience now for video games. So we're here, and there's plenty of us. It's not entirely a man's world anymore. I would say that women need to be celebrated more in games, especially the women making the games, writing them, designing them. That definitely needs to be celebrated more. There needs to be more of that.
I think for me, video games are more about escape because I play mostly solo because I think just having a whole different world that you can interact with, which is different than watching like films or animated movies, is like such a new experience.
Walked past this small little building called the A-Tech building. It was back when it was over there on the other side of campus, and it had this little radio tower. So I was walking in and I was like, what do you guys do there? And they're like, we make video games. And I was like, what? And so I already had been a huge gamer, so I got really interested in it, and I basically switched majors and went into games, specifically studying level design.
I started playing video games when I was a child. I think my brother and my dad always played them, and my brother, who's older than us, so we had like an emulator. We would play like the old Marios, like Donkey Kong Country.
My favorite, I don't know, I have like way too many to pick from though. I usually like Nintendo games though, since they're usually like more appealing and kid friendly and stuff like that though. Or any sort of like JRPG, so I also like those.
I focus specifically on level design, so I actually make the environment or the world in the video game, whether that is a mobile game or a console game. I currently work in Unreal Engine, so I do basically AAA level stuff. So like first-person shooters, third-person action games, things like that.
I think we've moved away from some of those tomboy, no social life, ugly girl thing into something that's equally detrimental, which is the sort of you can't be a real geek because you are female, because you are beautiful, because you are smart.
Often you get the, oh, you're a girl, you don't know how to play games, right? Even if you're better than any of the boys or anybody else. That's the most common thing. The other thing you get is, especially with online games, it's like, oh, you're a girl and I want to date you kind of thing. Like, send me your picture, where's your location, I'll help you with the game. And I'm just like, no, I'm not interested in you like that. I'm here to play the game, that's all I care about. When I was gaming online quite a bit, I really didn't experience a lot of negativity. It was more the harassment in terms of like, I want to get to know you so I can date you because you're a girl and you're playing games and this is rare and oh my god.
I think on some occasions I've been like flirted with or kind of low-key harassed sometimes, but then I just block them afterwards. Besides that, I haven't actually gotten any hate like, oh, you're a female gamer or something, get out of here, you suck, or something.
I mean, like, some online games no one really paid too much attention to my gender though, but like, depending on who I talk to though, and especially like, I think it's like anywhere like, just when I go online in general though, they say like, hey sexy, or something like that.
We don't always just want to get the attention. Sometimes we just enjoy the game, which is why I only play really one online game. I mean, many of the mobile games I have friends and stuff, but there's no real communication between. It's just occasionally we send each other stuff.
As for playing online, I did used to dabble in some MMOs, but I usually just kind of play things by myself since I don't really interact with the online community much.
But whenever they ask like names and stuff, I usually just put like, I don't put like Yasmin though, because I don't want to give out my ethnicity. I just put like Jasmine. I don't want to have to be like picked on based on my religion or stuff like that, because Muslims, it must be all terrorists and stuff like that though, because I actually feel very uncomfortable with like, because I know like some people are like Islamophobic.
Unfortunate, because I mean it's such a great community for the most part. Depends on the games you play too. Communities like League of Legends is just god awful. I wouldn't even play that game just because of the community. But for the most part, the games I play, I really haven't had any experience with negativity. But I think that there's a lot of people out there that are older because you know people in their 30s, 40s, even 50s now play games, and they play games for a long time, and they make up the bulk of the community. And like the younger people coming in and playing like esports leagues and things like that, they're learning from some of these older players, and they have that same kind of mentality. And I think it'll change too as esports evolves and people start having, certain like code of conduct, just like any other sport. You wouldn't troll someone on the soccer field, or if you would, it would be within limits. You start harassing and pushing people around, and you're going to get fouled. So I think, esports will be very similar in that, and I think that will start setting precedents for the rest of the community as well.
I think we're slowly getting more open-minded towards, having, more audiences play, no matter like the race or gender or anything like that.
Just because that, like, all these stereotypes are kind of getting broken up nowadays, that it's becoming easier to ease in and everybody can actually enjoy games, even no matter how late it is for them.
I think it is changing. If you look, for example, at Tomb Raider, right? When the first Tomb Raider came out, she had like huge boobs, like teeny tiny waist, and it was just like, oh, let's get a skin to see Lara Croft naked, and that was what everybody was focused on. But in the revamp of Tomb Raider, she's much more realistic. Her build is much more athletic. She's not a damsel in distress. She's, doing her own thing. She's more than confident. The narrative reflects that, as does the character. And I think that is definitely changing.
Maybe to get more girls interested in games, probably have more like relatable characters that they could connect to. Like, I guess, for example, like in some games there are like female protagonists as well that maybe girls can connect to as well as they play the character. Because I don't know, to me, like when I play a character, I want to feel like I am the character in a way, so I want some part of it to relate to me.
And I think the biggest thing is just you've got to really get more women into the field, not to be afraid to apply and have that portfolio, and get into these industries. Because, if anything, I think women have a stronger chance of getting hired than men, because they do bring something different to the table. They bring a different perspective.
Well, there'd be less harassment, and people would actually just get rid of this girl gamer label altogether. Just put like gamer though. Why should we be labeled based on gender?